Hey there. This is Dr. Pam Perry, and we are here with another episode of Speakers Magazine. And we're going to have Shaun Robinson with us today. I'm so excited. She's Detroit. She's a home girl. She went to Cass Tech. We both went to Cass Tech, but she went from Detroit to Hollywood and is doing the darn thing. I'm so glad. This is a special episode because last week, Miss Shaun was having a little birthday soiree or soiree in Puerto Rico. So we couldn't do it last week, but this week we are here and both of us are with our summer hair. I guess you would say that's what we're doing right now. We're doing it with our summer hair. So I'm going to bring her up right after this.
Are you ready to elevate your speaking career and be a part of a movement that amplifies Black voices? Speakers Magazine is your go-to resource, highlighting top speakers, industry insights, and strategies to take your platform to the next level. Subscribe today and unlock the blueprint for speaker success. Visit www.speakersmagazine.com, the #1 magazine for Black speakers. Subscribe now and start your journey to success. Amplify your voice. Subscribe today.
Hey, there you are. How are you?
Hi, Pam. How are you? That was really nice.
Oh,
Very
I'm doing.
nice introduction. Thank you.
We are so excited to have you on the cover because you were celebrating 10 years of the S.H.A.U.N. Foundation for Girls. And before we get into that, what that's all about, you had a whole career before that. And starting in Detroit, you're in our museum here, WGPR Museum, as one of the television personalities that WGPR is one of the first Black owned television station. So kind of tell us a little bit, a snippet of where you've been and how you basically now are, why you decided to do this foundation.
Well, thank you very much. First of all, I want to say thank you, my Detroit sister. You know, I'm the one in LA who's always repping the city with my Detroit versus everybody t-shirt on.
There you go.
I'm telling you, they get tired of me because I'm always talking about the D. And congratulations to all you have done and all of your success with Speakers Magazine and elevating the voices of so many incredible people. So bravo to you. And I do love the fact that you mentioned our summer hair. I remember the first time I wore my hair in braids when I was at Hollywood. Oh gosh, it was like it became a thing. Absolutely. The executive producer did not like it at all. And it is when I see all of these amazing, beautiful sisters with their hair in braids and dreads and all that, I'm just like locks and everything. I just love it. I love to see it because it was certainly different when I first started.
Yeah, that's why they had to create the Crown Act. The Crown Act is so that women would not be, especially Black women, would not be discriminated because of their hair. It was like a thing. And growing up, we both were watching Beverly Payne, and it was another one that you were watching as well.
Beverly Payne, Diana Lewis.
Yes.
Icon, Carmen Harlan.
Imagine any of them. Imagine any of them coming in there with braids.
No, that would not have worked at all.
So tell us a little bit about how this journey began. This girl from Detroit on the West Side decides she wants to go into journalism and be like the next, watching Beverly Payne growing up. It's like, well,
yes, I tell the story all the time about when I was little and my parents or grandparents would turn on the evening news. I would see Beverly Payne, who I believe was the first African-American female news anchor in Michigan. And I would watch her on TV and just be mesmerized by her because I knew she was different because she had skin color the same as mine. And I didn't see much representation. We didn't see much representation. I remember, Buckwheat on the Little Rascals. I remember, there were very, very few people of color when you're talking about in the 60s and early 70s. On television. And so Beverly Payne was my first role model who got me involved in journalism. I never met Beverly Payne, but I have posted that story online, and her family has reached out, has responded on Facebook, and it was
Oh,
just wonderful just to hear somebody who had been
yes.
related to Beverly Payne, because she was definitely an idol of mine. The first time I was actually on television was actually at Spelman College in
Okay.
Atlanta. I was chosen to do a cable show, and we're not talking about HBO cable. We're talking about like Wayne's World cable. And it was a very small studio. And I think the name of the show that I hosted was called Open Studio or something like that. And I remember just being so very nervous. But between my junior and senior year at Spelman, I came back home to Detroit and I worked at WGPR.
Yes.
I was an intern. I wasn't making any money at all, but I interned and I learned how to write and to report and to edit, all of that. And then after I came back, after I graduated from Spelman, I went back to WGPR, worked for free again, okay, free labor. And then
People
they
need to pay
finally,
attention to that. Right. Right.
yeah, free labor, yeah. And I don't know if you can do that anymore, though. I think you have to pay folks, but give them some type of compensation. But then they finally put me on the payroll, and I was there for about 4.5 years. And so I was anchoring at
Mhm.
WGPR,
Yep.
reporting and hosting the talk show Strictly Speaking, that people
Yes.
still ask me about today. That was
Yes.
kind of revolutionary back then.
Yes, it was. And in the museum are clips of you doing Strictly Speaking,
Yeah,
running from one mic, one side of the
yeah,
room to the other, getting people involved, early Oprah like type of things.
yes, yes,
That was really it. That was really
yeah.
it. And
Yes,
again, that,
I was invited back by Joe Spencer of
mhm,
WGPR. He invited me back to be a part of the opening of the museum and seeing all of the faces that I used to watch myself on WGPR, and seeing the poster of Strictly Speaking and me hosting and the video. It's really, really cool. The one video I wish they could find is I went on the scene, high school week on the scene. It was Cast Tech Day.
okay.
And I
So let
remember
people
I
know
had
about the
on,
scene. The scene is
yes,
Detroit versions of Soul Train.
it is the Detroit's version of Soul Train. And the people on the scene were stars. Fast Freddie,
Yes.
listen. So we had high school day on the scene, and I was there for Cast Tech. And I remember I had a white dress on, I think white shoes and a white flower in my hair.
Not the white
I
shoes. Okay.
wish, I wish they could find that videotape. But yeah, that was really fun.
Oh my God. I just found, I'm going to share this really quickly. This share screen here of Beverly Payne. I found it in Google so that people can kind of see what we were talking about, what we saw in the
Yeah,
60s. So at
yes,
dinner time at 60s in Detroit, we were looking at Beverly Payne. That was
yeah,
who we were looking at. And it was
yeah.
the very first time we'd ever seen anyone, like you said, that looked like us. So this was,
Absolutely. I mean, this woman, Beverly Payne, she was just so sophisticated, so classy. I mean, she just carried herself well. And the image that I just remember being a little girl watching her, just kind of mesmerized by her
mhm, mhm.
and eager to see her every single day.
Yes.
And once again, there just weren't many role models for
Mm-mm,
us at all.
mm-mm.
But she, even though I never met her, she was the one that really started me on the path to becoming a journalist.
Yes. So doing the sin in Detroit, doing all the things, sowing the seeds, doing all of that. What was the next phase after that?
So from WGPR, I went to Flint, Michigan. I was working at, I think it was WEYI. I was there for 2.5 months before the news director told me I would not make it in TV. And so I started looking for another job. Yes. And so after my 2.5 month stint in Flint, actually I was at, so I covered the Flint, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland
Oh my
market.
goodness. Okay,
So
yeah.
our station was in Clio, in between Saginaw and Flint. And yeah,
Exciting
yeah,
city.
yeah. I was there for 2.5 months. And then when the news director said he wasn't going to allow me to continue working, I just started putting out feelers and got a job in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, as the medical reporter. And then I was promoted to weekend anchor, and also I had a talk show called Milwaukee's Talking. Yes.
Okay,
So
that's
I was
cool.
doing all the things in Milwaukee. So that was the ABC affiliate. From the ABC affiliate, I went to Austin, Texas.
Okay, that's a little
Yes, I
bit
was in,
bigger market, I think. Yeah, or maybe
well,
it was at least the top
Austin,
100.
no, between Milwaukee and Austin, I think Milwaukee was the bigger market. I'm not sure. But so went to Austin. Austin's a beautiful town. Austin's a really, really lovely, beautiful town. And I was in Austin for a year and then went to Miami, to the Fox affiliate in Miami.
Okay,
And yeah, I was there for 2.5 years before I got the job at Access Hollywood. And
okay,
there,
all right.
Access Hollywood for 16 years. Yes.
So you went from like Midwest. I'm going to go Southwest, going into Miami, and now LA. And
Yes.
16 years, that is unheard of for someone to be in television doing that for that long. Because most people in broadcast are moving every 2, 3 years, doing
Yeah.
different places. It's just so doing that. And so from that, some of the people that you've met have become friends of yours over the years. But what I want people to understand is the purpose that you walk in about speaking and how directed you feel about it and the confidence that you have walking in the room, whether you're meeting super celebrities, doesn't matter. You break it down to people that everybody is really, I have respect for you, you have respect for me. So where does that confidence come from? And when did you notice that you needed to feed that to the next generation of especially girls?
So I have, you know, gosh, I feel like I've interviewed, everybody in Hollywood. And when I first went there in 1999, keep in mind, this was before social media, before YouTube. Okay. We would not have been doing this interview back then because there was no YouTube. Before Twitter, before Instagram, Facebook, all of that, 1999.
That's right.
So I went there, and this was the first time that, this was what we called a national show. I'd always wanted to be on a national show. And my mom, who's watching now, hey, mom, she was able to, tune in, see me every single day because before I was in the local news. And when I went there, I mean, I was totally starstruck. I was totally starstruck by, seeing people that I had only seen in movies, on television shows, been to their concerts. And it took me a while to realize that they're just people just like the rest of us. I mean, they really are. They have these
Mhm.
big jobs that put them in front of a lot of people, but the stars are just like the rest of us. Trust me. So I have come out, you know, realizing that, there is nothing really that makes a person special. In our minds, we are thinking that people are special because they are on television or they look a certain way or they have enough money, but it's really not that. It really isn't. And in it was interesting in 2009, and you and I have talked about this. I used to get these letters from girls, oh,
Mhm.
are the stars as beautiful in person as they are on TV?
Right.
And are they, this or that? And I just realized that, all these young girls were internalizing the images of the people that I was interviewing every single day. And so in 2009, I wrote my first book, Exactly as I Am, which I just happen to have a copy of
I'd
right now.
like to see that. Yes, I'd like to see that. There you go. Exactly
Yes.
as I am. And it's available on Amazon. Okay. Make sure that you go to Amazon and get
Well, finally, let me just tell you, I'm going to have some breaking news for you.
it. Uh-oh.
I was looking for copies of my book on Amazon.
Yeah.
So, and couldn't find it. I was finding copies on eBay selling for like, I don't know, $100. Don't pay the $100 for the book, folks. Really don't pay the $100 for the book. But here's the wild thing, and I'll tell you just very briefly. I finally got the rights back to my
Oh,
book.
okay.
Yeah, I finally got the rights back, which allows me to do what I want with exactly as I am, which means I am going to be doing a sequel, but also I feel that there is something else, something bigger in the messaging about believing in ourselves and
Mhm.
dreaming big. So hopefully I'll
Mhm.
have some news about that for you
Okay.
soon. But yes,
But they can go to Shaun Foundation for Girls.org, get on your email list so they can be the
yes,
first to know
absolutely.
about it. Okay, that is the
Correct.
main thing, so they can know about it. Because I
Yes.
think in the era now of social media, we didn't have it growing up. I think it is a little bit more challenging for girls to build confidence because they're constantly comparing all the time. It's not even just girls,
Yes.
it's just people, period. But I can imagine just being a teenager or a young woman just looking at, like, oh my God, my life is falling apart because everybody on Instagram is living their best life and I'm not. So that part, probably when you wrote the book, was not as big
Yeah, because the
then.
social media wasn't as big.
Yeah. Now it's
Social
just,
media was nothing like it is today.
mhm.
And, if there was pressure back then, think about how girls feel now, especially with all the filtering that we do and, feeding these images. I love the body positivity
Yeah.
images and messaging that's out there now because it is really needed because, girls and girls are the group that I center and that I work with. And I just think it's in all of us to make sure the messaging is out that you are beautiful, valuable, loved exactly as you are.
I love that. I love that. So the Shaun Foundation for Girls celebrating 10 years, and they have an event coming up in September that I want people to understand that your foundation supports organizations that do the work with the girls directly. And
Correct.
you are using your platform, being in television over a couple of decades, to raise funds for these organizations that you fund for the girls organizations. And how much money has that been so far? Over 10 years?
So, well, in the 10 years that the Shaun Foundation for Girls has been in existence, we have given over $250,000, so $250,000 to over 40 girls-centered nonprofits across the country. Oh, thank you. I
That's
love that sound effect.
that's
Uh,
a big deal. That is a
Thank you.
lot.
Thank you. And I've
Mhm.
only been able to do it with the help of many of the people that are watching this interview right now, the donations that have come in to the Shaun Foundation for Girls, the grants that have been given to us by various organizations, and just people who send in. Sometimes I got people, there's this one woman who has sent me in $5 every month for like I think 2.5 years. Yes.
Wow. I
So
love
I
that.
I just I want to thank all of the people that have participated. And what we do is whenever somebody gives to the Shaun Foundation for Girls, we put them on our wall, our village of Magnolia givers. Yeah. So there you have a place in our history on our website. So, but let me just tell you, Pam, the reason a lot of times people ask me, they say, I want to work with your girls. I want to work with your girls. And I tell them, we don't work directly with girls. We support the organizations that work directly with girls. And let me tell you why that's important. Well, everybody should know this is important. The statistics are clear and they have been repeated over and over again. Of all of the money given to nonprofits, less than 2% of the money given goes to girls centered organizations and organizations that help girls and women of color. 2% of all the money that is given, let's say if $10 is given to nonprofits, less than $2 is given to nonprofits that service girls and young women of color. And why is that important to all of us? Folks ask me, why should I care? Okay, listen. the economics of racism and bias affect all of us. Because if there are groups, marginalized groups, who are not getting the help, who are not getting the resources, who are not getting the same help as other groups, what happens? We are taking care of these people in some kind of way, whether it's some type of assistance, whatever it is. Like, so a rising tide lifts all boats, okay? And so we have to make sure that we help these vulnerable communities, because some kind of way, you can't shield yourself from it forever. Because these when you have vulnerable communities, that impacts you. It impacts your pocketbook. It impacts your pocketbook in terms of taxes, just like the plain and simple. So if you have people who are not able to economically contribute to the tax base, who are not able to pay bills, who are not able to, to contribute to the economy, that affects us all. Okay. So I wanted to you see, I get real passionate about this, but so
not
that's why,
just, yeah.
yeah. So that's why what we do, Shaun Foundation for Girls does, is important in helping these organizations. And I knew there were incredible organizations out there that were already doing the work. And so we help them with their projects, with the programs, and also keeping the lights on. Okay.
Yeah.
Keeping the
Yeah.
lights on in the building, having, paying a staff member who has gained the trust of a girl who is coming from a traumatic or dysfunctional family. That's what we give money to. So, people helping our cause, going to SHAUNFoundationForGirls.org/donate, though that's where the funds go.
And then one particular for the event that you're doing in September.
Yeah. So in September, so I kept hearing from the women running the organizations, running the nonprofits that we help, that leading a nonprofit is sort of like leading from an island. You really want to connect with like-minded people. And here's what I call the dirty little secret in philanthropy, and that is the gatekeeping. Nonprofits, they don't want to help each other out. Why? Because if I tell you who my funder is, that means there's less for me. Okay. I don't want to share my resources with anybody. I don't want to share this or that because I'm thinking, there's only a little teeny tiny slice of the pie for me. Okay.
Right.
That's what I call the dirty little secret in philanthropy. So here's what I did. I tried to, what we've done is we have a conference called She Leads. We're having our third annual She Leads conference this fall in Los Angeles. It's for women who lead girl-centered nonprofits around the country. So we're bringing all of these women together, and we are sharing best practices. We are talking about the mental health of nonprofit leaders. Why is there so much burnt out? We're talking about, we're connecting them to funding sources. They get to network and collaborate and to try to figure out how do we make our nonprofits sustainable and impactful for the girls in our community. So you can go on. So I'm going to give you one more email address, and that's SHAUNFoundationForGirls.org. S-H-E, leads, Leads, at SHAUNFoundationForGirls.org. You can just email and we will send you information about the conference. It's an incredible conference. We have amazing people. Last year we had,
where's it going to be held?
It's going to be in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So we're going to give you that information. And two of the people that we had last year at the conference, Miss Rosalind Brewer, who went to Cass Tech.
From Detroit. Yes.
Michigan. We had Rosalind Brewer, and at the time she was interim president of Spelman College. She still is, and we were so happy to hear her talk about just her career and the advice that she gives for women who are in leadership positions. We also, and so Roz and I, we graduated Spelman together, we graduated Cass Tech together, and we lived across the street from each other also. So on Detroit's Northwest side. But we also had last year LeJune Montgomery Tabron, who also was in our class at Cass Tech. And she is
Oh my
now
God.
the CEO of the W.K. Kellogg Foundation.
Wow.
Incredible sister. She came, and it was just phenomenal to be able to have her there. So we have a great time. We have a great time. So anyway, it's the She Leads conference. I hope that you tell your friends, anybody who you know who runs a nonprofit that helps girls and young women, tell them to come to She Leads, and they'll have a great time, I promise.
I want to shout out to another person. She doesn't necessarily for women, but you know this person here. She was
Girl,
on
wait a
the
minute.
cover
Let me
speaker.
put my glasses
She
on.
was
Is
on the
that
cover
Allison
speaker.
Vaughn?
Yes, it is Allison Vaughn.
That's
So
okay.
she
So
had,
Allison was on speakers. That's me. Allison
yes,
just
she
came with me.
celebrated 25 years. She
Yes,
celebrated
yes,
25 years of Jackets for Jobs. So in Detroit, she's a nonprofit leader. Jackets for Jobs, 25 years
yep,
last year. So it's
yes,
26 years this year.
yes.
But
And
that is,
Allison, yes, Allison was on my birthday vacation with me in Puerto Rico. So
yes,
we got
yes.
a chance to hang out. Allison has done an incredible job with Jackets for Jobs in Detroit. I mean, she is really, really amazing. And the first year she was there at the She Leads conference, and she could tell you what a great time
Yes,
she had.
that
Yes.
is. So I want people to make this connection between people like you, people like Allison, about using your voice for good, using your platform. This is way before influencer was a word, right? It's like, okay, are you an
Yes.
influencer? But an influencer for good. So talk a little bit about how you go to speak to different organizations and how people can really hire you to MC, to speak, those kind of things as well, because that's part of what you're doing now. You not only on television behind the behind the camera, but also in real life, how people can hire you to do keynotes or graduations and things like that.
So, so there is information how to get in touch with me on my website, ShaunRobinson.com. So we got the
Okay.
contact information on ShaunRobinson.com. And you know, it's interesting. Like as my career has gone through, so many different phases. When the conversations that I'm interested in having are ones where we are talking about uh, giving back and making this world a better place. Okay, those are the types of conversations that I'm interested in having. So, in terms of why philanthropy is important, why we are all philanthropists, no
Mm,
matter how much money you make, we are all, I think, put on this planet to help make the world a better place.
mhm. I love that.
So, yeah, so that's what my parents have always taught me. And that's what I try to embody. That's what I try to, um, that's what I love to talk about.
Your purpose.
So
Hmm,
yeah, so
hmm. And that's
that's it.
kind of like the main thing that we didn't even get to the magazine, Shaun, but that's really like the main thing that for the cover. Yes, yes. And people can see that we're talking about speaking with purpose, leading with heart. Okay. So speaking with purpose, leading with heart, that is really like the key thing, building confidence in the next generation of girls. This story talks about, and how she uses her voice to really empower girls. And that's really important. So if you would like Shaun to speak to your group, she's available, ShaunRobinson.com, graduations, women's ministry groups, uh, ladies group, just any type of group where you want someone to really speak with um, with heart and purpose. And really, this is a legacy that she wants to leave. Going through the magazine a little bit here, so people can kind of see a little bit. There's some pictures of me and Shaun over the years as well. One, I think you were speaking at NABJ. That was the place where
Girl,
you
wait
were
a minute, I
speaking.
got to put my glasses on to see. I got to
You were
put my
at
glasses
NABJ,
on.
and
Yes,
that
NAJ.
one there. And then the other one, I think we were at the Allison Vaughn wedding. That was amazing about 3 years ago.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah. So the reason why we do Speakers Magazine is, one, to elevate those voices that are going to really promote and elevate others. And that's really it. People in this magazine, they are in their professions, but they're also speaking on stages. She's talking about Dr. Laverne about changing the conversation around mental health. Dr. Lisa McCoy, she's a medical doctor, but talking about how to keep our tempo healthy and natural ways to do that. Bonner talks about racism, making it plain. He's a minister as well. There you are. And all the things that you do, there's a picture of you and Kerry Washington there as well, and talking with some of the girls, and then the foundation, and then also to your executive producer, that part right there. So that's another part of the thing. And then you were on The View. There's a summit that's coming up. I think it's in your part of the world, Shaun. It's in California in October. It's a women's leadership summit. Is that near you? It's Carlsbad, California.
Okay, yes.
That's coming up near you. The people who are running that are the people who are Stephanie Rance. I'm sorry, she's the person that is the co-founder with the Martha Vineyards African American Film Festival.
Okay, yes.
So this is her summit. It's a 4-day summit for women leaders.
Oh, amazing.
This is some other speakers. He's a principal. He has a all-boys school, so he really talks to young men about legacy and leadership. Again, another therapist, empowering therapists, because like what you said, sometimes these jobs when you're dealing directly with people, whether you're in a nonprofit or doing therapy work, you get burned out. So she's empowering people to take their power back. Again, this is someone who is a motivational speaker. He's been trained by Les Brown and that sort of thing, but turning adversity into momentum. And then the Speak Sell Shine, that comes up in October every single year, our 4th one going on. We had it at the National Press Club and the Howard Theater. It's a cross between like a TEDx style talk that people produce and they use, and then they also get media training at the National Press Club and get interviewed. And then this person here, I think she's in your part of the area too, and Felicia Leatherwood. She has a book coming out talking about root therapy. And she's a celebrity stylist. She does like natural. We both happen to have this right now. But she's just saying, embrace your roots, love your hair. So the book is really about self-esteem. It's not about hairstyling. It's about self-esteem. So that book comes out in August. So that is our issue that we have right now.
Amazing. Great job.
Thank you. Yes. So Felicia Leatherwood, I would love to introduce you to her. Actually, you would love her. She's in the LA area. And so when she does her book launch and that kind of thing, you guys can connect. She does Issa Rae, she's done Jill Scott, anyone who has a lot of Cedric the Entertainer, all the people. And way before natural hair was a thing, she was doing it. And so the whole book is about self-esteem. So I felt that you all should meet because that's what you talk about in your book. And I want people to really understand that is the root of what really helps people become successful.
Yes.
Becoming successful. So thank you, ShaunRobinson.com. I put that on there for people to know how to book you to speak. And then below is the email. She leads at Shaun Foundation for Girls. Okay, no.
Yes, and the Shaun Foundation for Girls. Hold on. And I don't know if I misspoke. It's ShaunFoundationForGirls.org. She leads at ShaunFoundationForGirls.org to find out about the conference.
Yes, that is it. There we go. .org because it's a 501c3. That's
correct.
Why it's .org. It's a nonprofit organization. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Shaun. This is, I just love you. I have always had such admiration for you, your courage, your boldness, your down to earthness, if that's a word, those things. And then you're just a beautiful spirit,
Thank you.
And happy birthday again.
Thank you very much.
Do you mind telling people how young you are? Because
listen, it's so funny because when I first got to Access Hollywood, that was before Wikipedia came out. So I would shave off like about 12 years. And then there's a friend of mine who went to cast with me, but she also was in elementary school. I think we were in 5th grade together, either 3rd or 5th grade. And she would call me up. She said, Shaun, just just remind me how old we are, okay? Because we went to school together, so people know we did, but I just want to keep up because you keep changing the age or what. So then Wikipedia came out and I had to tell the truth. So I just turned 64.
Girl, that is, and see, you do these things for our ladies over 60. You talk about confidence in young girls, but also the ladies over 60. It's like,
That's
listen,
right.
you still have it together. So I just love that because I'm following you. I'm 66.
Thank you.
So I'm 66. So I'm following you. And
Wait a minute, what?
66. Born 19.
I thought you were, okay, I didn't know you were older than me. I thought you were, what?
Class 78.
What? Girl. Look at it.
So
Fabulous.
That is it. Thank you. And so your messaging that you put out, I love that because you're showing women how we can age healthy, right?
Yes.
And that
That's right.
and that is so important. So you're giving it to the young girls, you're giving it to the ladies that are the baby boomers as well. So, and people in between, they're looking at Shaun Robinson. It's like, okay, I know I can do this. If Shaun can do it, I can do it. And you're empowering people. That's what empowerment is. That's what it is. So thank you so much for joining us. And thank you over here. I see Martha. Thank you so much. And Karen, thank you so much. They've been giving us some love over here as well. So they've been like really giving us some things as well. But is there anything else that I did not talk about that I need to let people know about?
So, no, this has been an incredible interview. I really appreciate it. It's always weird to me when I'm not the one asking the questions. So I really appreciate your thoughtfulness, your deep research. That is all very, very, makes it a very fun process. So, And
I love this.
There's one thing. Okay, I always ask people to look at their network because the S.H.A.U.N Foundation for Girls, the only way we can exist is with the donations from the public, the company, whatnot. If your company has like a matching fund system and you want to donate to the S.H.A.U.N Foundation for Girls, or if you know of philanthropists, people who have the resources to help the S.H.A.U.N Foundation for Girls and help us, raise the money so that we can give to these organizations, please reach out. Once again, there's a S.H.A.U.N Foundation for Girls. I know I'm giving you a lot of emails and websites, but the S.H.A.U.N Foundation for Girls.org. There's a donate button. We appreciate every single donation that we get. And once again, if you just know of somebody in your network who's a philanthropist who maybe has disposable funds to support our cause, I would love to be able to talk to them and tell them about how we empower girls. So you have my personal website there, but the main website is SHAUNFoundationForGirls.org. And I so appreciate every single person who has, there you go, SHAUNFoundationForGirls.org. There's a donate button. We appreciate every single dollar that comes in to our cause because it does help us provide much needed resources to these organizations, these nonprofits out there that are lifting up girls and young women in our community and have just been, philanthropy has really forgotten about a lot of these organizations. And so we're trying to help them become sustainable. And our very first grant was given to Alternatives for Girls in
Detroit.
Yeah. Our very first grant was given to them, and we've been able to give them recurring grants because additional grants just because of the donations that have come in to the S.H.A.U.N Foundation for Girls.
And Alternative for Girls does really, really good work.
Absolutely.
They really do. I really do. I know people that work there, and it is a something where they always need funding because there's always a need. So,
exactly.
If you can't start a foundation, if you can't work with girls directly, one of the things you can do is make the donation. So do your part, and that will be something that's really good. So Shaun, I just love this, and I love you doing this work. You are doing so many other things, and then you have this foundation that's 10 years old because that is a job in itself. You got to keep those books clean and all that kind of stuff, and go out there.
It is a job.
I know, because it is a
Absolutely.
thing. So, but congratulations on 10 years of doing that, because that is
Thank you.
one of the main things that people don't understand. When I'm just gonna have it's work.
It's
Work.
a lot
You
of
have
work.
a board and all those things. You have meetings and you're doing constant fundraising. So thank you so much for doing it and making a difference, making an impact.
Thank you.
Alrighty. God bless you, and I will
Okay.
talk with you
Bye-bye.
later. Thank you. Bye bye.